Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Growth Execution Podcast. We are here every week to bring you tips, tricks, hints, how you can build, grow, launch your business in the best possible way to set it up for growth. Delighted to be joined this week by Dr. Denise of Own Your Amazing. Dr. Denise, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Genuine pleasure. Really excited to have you on. Now, one of the things that our listeners always are interested in is what got you started. So how are you here?
Wow. So I never thought I would be a business owner, entrepreneur. That was never the thing I grew up and said I wanted to do. But when I saw other people doing it and when I realized, hey, I can do this too, I think. So I said, I'm going to give it a shot. And that's been over 15, 16 years ago that I've been on my own, right? And so every year I tell myself, okay, give it another year and see what happens. Give it another year and see what happens, right? And so I'm so glad I decided to take that leap many years ago to start my own company. But even with the highs and lows, the ins and outs, I'm still glad that I have stayed on the journey. And I keep saying, okay, let's give it one more year and see what happens.
Yeah, listen, I'm loving that. And you know, when you started, I think you had a very different career, didn't you?
Well, yeah. So I started out as I'm a speech language pathologist or speech therapist. And so that's what I started my practice in. I still have a practice, but I also started Own Your Amazing Movement, which is a personal development company. But when I first started my practice as a speech therapist, a lot of people thought I was crazy. Because I had a really good job. You know, I was a supervisor, had a team. And so I walked away from it. I turned in my resignation and say, hey, I'm going to strike out on my own. And haven't looked back since. But yeah, a lot of people thought I was like, are you really going to give up a good job to start your own company that you have no business experience whatsoever? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot.
And what was that drive? What was it that kind of gave you that push?
I don't know. I think it was just, I tell people all the time, you got to bet on yourself. Give yourself a chance. Mm-hmm. We have so much confidence in other people, but do we really have that confidence in ourselves? And here's what I knew for sure. My company loved me. They were really sad to see me go, right? So it wasn't like I wasn't doing a good job. I could do the work. So I was like, well, why don't I try to do it for myself? Right. And so we are all great at what we do. And so if you decide you want to strike out on your own, you can do it. You have what it takes because you have these amazing jobs. So why not turn it into an amazing business? And that's what I decided to do.
Wow. So you're living your words. And I love that so much. So what is it now that you do? So Own Your Amazing, obviously, the website, ownyouramazing.com.
Yes.
What is it that you're out there talking to people about?
So as a speech language pathologist, I tell people I literally help people to find their voices, right? I help people with speech impediments, with voice difficulties. And so as I began my own personal journey of self-discovery, it was like, yeah, I'm doing this, but I want more. What more can I be doing? And so the Own Your Amazing movement is about me helping women to say, it's okay to want more. It's okay to do more. It's okay to go after whatever that more may look like for you. So now I help women to live their worth out loud. I help them to figure out what is it that you want to do next, right? So a lot of my clients are women who are very, successful. I work with PhDs. I work with other people who want to start a business. I work with, senior level people on their jobs, but they're saying, I want more. I know there's more for me to do. One of my favorite clients is, she was an attorney. She was working at a very prestigious law firm and she was like, I want to quit the law firm and go do something else. I was like, yeah, let's go do it. What is it you want to do? So now she's in health and wellness and she's thinking about opening up a restaurant. Right.
She's got that work.
I help women to figure out like what's next, what more do you want to do? And then we create the plan, the strategy about how you go about creating that.
Wow. So that kind of visualization of an alternative life for a lot of people, can be quite tricky, right? So actually finding that direction. How do you start with that?
The first thing I start with, which is a simple question, but hard for a lot of my clients to answer. The question is, what do you want? Not what you're supposed to want, not what everyone is telling you you have to want, but really deep down inside, what is it that you want? And so again, like the attorney that I'm referring to, she was having a hard time leaving that career because She had gone to school for it. Everybody, that's what she was known for. That was her identity. But I was like, but do you still want that? It's a great job, great position, but do you want it? Is it lighting you up? Is it giving you meaning? Is it something you get excited about waking up and doing? And she was like, no. Wow. Then I was like, then let's find out what is. So I always say people live a quiet life of desperation. We're just existing. We're just going through the motions. But if it's not something to get you up early and have you staying up late, then it's not it. Trust me, it's not it. That's not it.
And obviously, a lot of people listening in will either be in the midst of their business, and perhaps this is the thing that gets them up in the morning, gets them working late and early, or they're just thinking about taking that jump. Yeah. What do you think separates those people that do make that jump, or from those that will just sit there and kind of carry on with that less optimal life?
It's just belief in themselves. It comes down to do you believe that you have what it takes? Mm-hmm. It's not enough for other people around you to believe it. You got to believe it. And so when I was able to step out and start my own companies, it was like, I believe I can do this. Yeah. And it's like, no, I don't know it all, but I think I can learn it. I've learned other things, right? So those are the kind of conversations that I was having with myself, and I continue to have with myself. I'm in process right now of some new business ventures that I've never done before. And I'm kind of like, can I do it? Can I? And then I was like, yeah. I was like, but I don't know what to do. Well, go learn what to do. Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's those internal conversations that we have with ourselves. Those are the things that separate those who take that leap, who jump out there, and those who are still sitting, feeling stuck and unhappy and unfulfilled. That's the difference. What are you saying about yourself to yourself?
Yeah, brilliant. And for those that just need a little bit of a nudge, what are the things, or how can they what's the self-talk they're looking for?
The self-talk, I would start with, again, asking, like, what do I want? Yeah. And then one of the things I also have my clients to do, I was like, okay, let's go count your wins. Mm-hmm. What are some things you've already won at? See, a lot of times we discount ourselves. Yeah. We don't give ourselves credit. We don't pat ourselves on the back. But I promise you, I know if your audience took a time to think about the things they've already accomplished, the things they've already overcame, that can get them to fuel, like, yeah, I have it. I can do it. Yeah, sure. I got this. So I'll tell them, start with your wins, big or small, it doesn't matter. Start with, what have you already been able to do? And that helps to build your inner confidence in yourself, to trust yourself, like, hey, I did that. Hey, I learned how to do that. Then, hey, what else can I learn to do? So start there, simple as counting your wins.
Brilliant. I think that's such good advice. And a lot of people can be quite self-deprecating and sort of, always putting down themselves. And as you say, looking at other people and going, they're amazing. But actually just that inner kind of building, putting those blocks in place, they're going to help you to stand tall.
So I work a lot with young children in my speech practice. Yeah. And think about even a young child learning how to walk. They don't or run. They don't just start out doing. They take one step, and we cheer them on. Yay! Even if they fall down, we're like, "Hey, get back up!" And they take little steps. They have little wins, and we celebrate that. So once we become adults, why do we lose that? Mm. Why do we stop celebrating our little wins? When I work with kids who, the big thing right now is potty training. Oh, they going to the pot. Oh my God, we celebrated going to the pot.
I remember that. Yeah.
We're used to being celebrated. So continue to do that for yourself. Like, hey, yeah, I submitted that contract. I may or may not get it, but hey, at least I put my name in the hat. Yeah. Hey, I don't know how to do this, but hey, I can learn to take this course. So count your small wins, because I tell you, that's the stuff that's going to give you the fuel to keep going and help you to build that momentum.
Brilliant advice, and thank you. And obviously along the way, kind of tacking to that dream and that kind of focus of where you want to be, that purpose from within. That keeps people, as you've said, from falling down the pits in the bad times and kind of giving up and all that sort of stuff. Are there ways of sort of coaxing yourself in those times too? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. For years, I would always set like where I was going to go for vacation, right? I would set it out like a year in advance. and say, okay, this is what you keep putting into work, keep doing what you need to do. Hey, you're going to take this amazing vacation. And so find whatever that thing is for you that excites you. You know, for some people, it might be a vacation. So for someone else, maybe a new car, whatever that thing is that you like, you enjoy, let that be your kind of carrot you dangle in front of yourself to say, if I do what I need to do, if I hit my marks, I hit my targets, this is what's waiting for me. We like to be, you know, again, going back to children, we all like to be rewarded for doing our best and doing a good job. But for some reason, when we become adults, we take that away from ourselves. But who doesn't like to be, rewarded, get a smiley face or a sticker? And so my smiley face and sticker is vacation.
Love that. Always have that kind of intermediate goal as well as the one that's
have something you're striving for. People always say, what is your why?
Yeah.
Your why can be different whys, and your whys can change from time to time, So a lot of times my why is my family, my friends, my community, what impact can I make in the world? But also it's like, oh, I want to go on a good vacation.
Right now, I'm tired and I want some pleasure. All the other stuff. That's brilliant. Such good advice. Thank you. Now, while we're on here, we always ask our guests just a few kind of quick fire questions just to kind of get some real snappy answers. So just when you go back to and think about when you started your business all that time ago, what is one thing you wish you had known back then that you know now?
Don't be so hard on myself.
Yeah.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself some grace. Know that it's going to be okay. You're going to do it. You're going to make it through. So I wish I wasn't so hard on myself in the beginning. Now just kind of relax it and be like, okay, that didn't work.
Yeah. But okay. Not everything does, right?
All right, I can try again.
Journey. Okay. Yeah. So good. As so many entrepreneurs do say that exactly that. So hard on themselves right up front. And it's hard enough, right?
Yes.
The last thing you need is you going down on yourself as well. Exactly. Brilliant. Thank you. Is there anybody that's kind of like an inspiration for you? Anybody you sort of like look up and go, do you know what, that person's sort of the kind of guiding light towards where you want to get to?
Several, but first place, Oprah Winfrey comes to mind. Just a lot. I tend to gravitate to people who came up with, not privileged, who really started with humble beginnings, because that's my story. Yeah. And to see that no matter where you start, your ending can be so much better. If you're willing to, again, better yourself, believe in yourself, and really go after it, you can really have it. So I look at people like, I love reading autobiographies. I love reading stories about people who, again, have started with humble beginnings and difficulties, but how they were able to overcome. Because I know if they did it, then I can do it too.
Brilliant. Thank you. And is there a piece of advice that you sort of live by, something that kind of you always go back to?
I think the main thing I go back to is that at the end of the day, no matter what, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay, and it's going to be okay. No matter if I lose it all, gain it all, whatever. At the end of the day, because I've had some major personal losses, I've had financial losses, but at the end of the day, I'm still standing, and I'm okay, and I'm happy, and life can be good. It does not have to be, the end of the world just because you have major loss. Yeah. But learn the lessons and use those things to keep you going.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for that. And the final question: What's next for Own Your Amazing? What are you up to?
Oh, so many things.
Just give us. You don't share the whole business plan.
Someone asked me that same question a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. Like, I was like, world domination.
Let's go for that. Absolutely, we can leave it there. That's right.
I want everyone to really own their amazing, and so I'm working on, trying to have a bigger reach, and with my message, and working on books, and speaking and all those things, just so I just want people to really own their amazing, to own who they are, and really appreciate who they are, and then share their gifts with the world, live their voice out loud, however that looks for you. Like, just own that you're amazing, that you are enough, you're good enough, you got what it takes, you can do this, whatever that is, just really go after it.
Fantastic. Dr. Denise, thank you so much. You've got a brand new fan base here, I'm sure. How can they get in touch with you?
I tell people go to the website, onyouramazingnnow.com. Just kind of start there. Also, you can follow me on social media on Facebook. I'm at Dr. Denise at On Your Amazing. That's where I announce new projects, new products, all those kind of things. But start at the website again at onyouramazingnnow.com.
Perfect. Listen, thanks once more for a really, really great interview. Really enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Genuine pleasure. So that's all we've got time for this week on the Growth Execution Podcast. Thank you so much for listening in as well. We'll be back next week with another great entrepreneur to give you top tips on how to build, launch, and grow your business. Till then, have a great growth week, and we'll see you next week. All the best.